Hey guys, thanks so much for joining me. My name is Dexter, and in today's episode, I'm going to be breaking down what Bitcoin is exactly. But before I do so, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, hitting that thumbs up button, and ringing that bell icon so you get notified when I do come out with new weekly episodes. So let's get started. Well, you might be asking yourself how Bitcoin is any different from digital currencies that you use today through your online banking. You send money online, so isn't that the same thing as a digital currency? Well, not exactly. To appreciate just how transformational Bitcoin is as a native currency to the internet, we need to first understand the difference between the current banking system that is centralized compared to a digital currency that is native to the internet, like Bitcoin, that is decentralized. In centralized banking system that most of us are accustomed to, you can deposit $100 into your bank through a direct deposit, cash, or check. And the bank will update its centralized database or ledger on their main computer to reflect that amount in your account. And although you can log into your online bank account and see a balance of $100 reflected, in reality, through the concept of fractional reserve banking, the bank is only required to maintain a minimum reserve requirement of around 10% of all total bank deposits, where the rest of the deposits can be loaned out by your bank to make a profit. Well, in March 2020, the Federal Reserve has since set that reserve requirement to 0%. That's right, 0%, to help stimulate the economy and make lending cheaper. In essence, your money is actually being loaned out of your bank to make interest income. So during times of economic stability, when you want to withdraw your money, the bank just needs to pull funds from its reserve pool, update its bank database, you get your money, and everything continues to function as normal. But what would happen if everyone attempted to withdraw their money from the bank simultaneously, like what we've seen in history during the 1929 Great Depression, where there is a run on the banks and everyone tries to take out their money at the same time? In these unfortunate scenarios, people are left exposed to the major risk that they are locked out from the ability to withdraw their own hard-earned money. This is just one of the multiple inherent risks that come from a centralized system. So what's the alternative? Should we just stash cash under our beds and just hope for the best? Well, the revolutionary solution is Bitcoin. Created in 2008 by an anonymous person or group named Satoshi Nakamoto, Satoshi released a 9-page white paper that proposes an open source system of decentralized money called Bitcoin. Although the identity of Satoshi Nakamoto remains a mystery till today, this shouldn't impact what this technology can do for us, just in the same way we still use math despite who contributed to the invention of math. The importance is that it works. Bitcoin operates on decentralized blockchain technology, which is basically a fancy way of saying that thousands of computers around the world operate to validate transactions on this decentralized ledger or database whenever people send and receive Bitcoin. So what happens is when a new transaction is entered, it is then transmitted to a network of peer-to-peer computers, also known as nodes, that are dispersed around the world and communicate with one another. Using a consensus algorithm or rule called proof of work, computers on the network use computing power or hash power to solve complex equations to validate the legitimacy of new transactions. The computer that solves this problem the fastest gets rewarded in Bitcoin, which is where the term miners come from, because just like gold miners are paid for their work in mining gold, Bitcoin miners get paid in Bitcoin for providing computing power to secure and validate transactions on the network. Now, once a set of these transactions are validated and confirmed, they are then consolidated into a block and then added to the historical chain of blocked transactions, hence the term blockchain. The cool thing is that every node on the network stores a record of the entire blockchain, which makes this Bitcoin ledger decentralized. So some key features of Bitcoin is that there are only 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be created, where there is currently 18.8 million in circulating supply, and a percentage of that is held in cold storage wallets and not availably traded on the market. Furthermore, the number of Bitcoin produced is cut in half every 4 years or so, every time it confirms 210,000 blocks. This means the last Bitcoin to ever be created will probably occur sometime in the year 2140. So we've got some time. So what this entire system does is it makes the production of Bitcoin predictable, scarce, a great store of value, and a deflationary asset. Now the powerful thing about this system is number one, there is no single point of failure because the entire blockchain is copied among all the computers on the network that are validating transactions. And number two, Bitcoin is immutable, which means it can't be tampered with. And third, it is censorship resistant, basically meaning that no one can prevent or stop a transaction from being published as long as it follows the consensus rules. So you might be asking, well, Dexter, if Bitcoin is just a software, why can't we just copy and paste more Bitcoin and flood the supply of Bitcoin? This is called the double spend problem. So back to my initial example of banking that is centralized, technically we don't have visibility or control on whether a centralized ledger like a bank is falsified or changed, like what we've seen in 2016 when Wells Fargo created millions of falsified savings and checkings accounts without the knowledge of their customers. Well, for Bitcoin, it solves the double spend problem through its open and decentralized peer-to-peer network of computers that can see all of the transactions at the same time, which ensures that valid transactions are confirmed and invalid transactions are rejected. In conclusion, you can think of Bitcoin like a digital savings account in cyberspace. It's a digital bank that is incorruptible as a software, and it's available to billions of people around the world as long as they have an internet connection. In essence, Bitcoin is an evolution to a store of value and meets all of the key features of money, which I've made an episode about in another video, and I'll leave a link in the description below. So if you've gotten value from this episode, please don't forget to subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, and ring that bell icon as this will help out this video tremendously. Until next time, my name is Dexter and have a wonderful day.